Well, obviously, we're disappointed that we're not in the NCAA tournament, but we didn't get our earn our way in, and we needed, I think, at least one more win and maybe a couple down the stretch, but we just didn't have it in us, and so we're glad. To be honest with you, I'm excited to play. I'm one of those guys that any chance you have to play, you do it. It's great for your seniors. It gives them another chance to prolong their career, so to speak, and then your young kids, it gives them a chance in a tournament where it's a one and done, and that can sometimes be valuable in the future.
What was that reaction amongst the team? They found out no NCAA, but they do get to continue.
Well, we'd kind of set them up for that. I have pretty good sources in this business. When you coach 29 years, I knew that was going to be a long shot. I mean, it was infinitesimal. Wait. I don't know what the word would be, but we didn't have a chance, so we knew what we were practicing for, and that's okay. Again, I think it's we're playing, and we have a chance to make something positive out of what was a really tough last few weeks.
Do you feel like you've been able to sort of get a sense of if you've been able to adjust now that you've had an extra week off to try and work with the team and sort of find not necessarily a new identity, but a new rhythm?
That's a good way to put it. No, we haven't found that rhythm yet, to be honest with you. Our practice has been a little sluggish, a little rough. But I think part of that is, we gave them a full week off, number one. Number two, they're in finals right now. And number three, we're not really practicing for anybody. I think today will give me a better indication of how this team is. Now we have somebody to practice for and to prepare for.
Mentally, though, was it nice to have a little bit of a break to get over the way the season ended and sort of get refocused?
Yes, I think I think the break did us good, mentally as well as physically. I mean, it's a long season, so a week off at this time of the year is gold for these young ladies. So, but we have 2 days now to get focused and get it charged up and ready to go.
A lot of common opponents. Does that make this any different a scout than it would otherwise?
No, we basically look at their last 8 or 10 games. I mean, that's an indication of who they are. I mean, anybody who would look at our early games are making a big mistake too. We are now what we've been the last 3. So, hey, listen. At this point, you basically do what you do anyway. You adjust it a little bit for the opponent, but we are who we are now.
So, how do you feel like you match up with them?
I think we're fine. I think we're certainly bigger inside. They put a lot of pressure on you. They force in conference play over 22 turnovers a game, so they'll pick us up full court, and that's been one of our weaknesses this year. So we're going to have to handle the ball well. If we space the floor, though, I think we're going to be fine offensively. Defensively, they're quick, so we're going to have to move our feet and maybe pack in a little bit of our defenses, but we'll see. Again, we are who we are. We're going to mix things up defensively and then give them multiple offensive looks.
Just had a nice game for you guys in the Pac-12 tournament. Do you foresee more success for her against Long Beach?
I sure hope so. I mean, we need her. We need an inside presence, and otherwise, our three-point shooters are much easier to guard. So it was nice to see her do well up there, and she's had really good practices. So I think hopefully she'll build on some latter success.
When looking to accept the invitation for the WNIT, is that something that you consulted with the players or the seniors in regards to this season?
Yes and no. I mean, it was my decision ultimately, but I know more players and they wanted to play, so there was no dissension in that area.
The 5 teams above you in the standings obviously made it to the NCAA tournament. How important is it to represent the Pac-12, I guess, and establish that identity as being a postseason program?
Well, I think it's real important. Again, look at UCLA last year. They actually had a losing record, but they got the automatic qualifying bid to the NIT. They won 6 games, I think, all on the road, and they used that to springboard into a great year this year. So this is only a positive. Again, we'd rather be playing, I think, in the NCAA, but just the fact we're playing will be good for the program. Kind of set a trend that, hey, we expect to be in postseason, and now we get a taste of it, and we'll set our bar a little bit higher for next year.
Maiche's had so much international play where it's sort of the one and done. In a tournament field, do you expect her to perhaps have a little more confidence in the tournament field than perhaps another freshman might?
Yeah, well, she's not a freshman anymore. I mean, she's played 30 games over here, so you know, she's a veteran and played a lot. I think she's played every minute, at least the last couple of weeks. So yeah, it's going to be nice to have her there. I think she's going to be the best guard on the floor, no doubt. So that's always a plus in any game, knowing you have the best guard.